Welcome to Crafting on the Plains. My name is Jacintha, and this is my channel about cross stitch, also sometimes knitting, sewing, quilting, and whatever other rabbit holes that I happen to get up to in the last couple weeks. So if you are a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I am so glad to have you all here with me. I hope that you've had a great last couple weeks since I've visited with you. So today I've got quite a bit of progress. I've got some Jolly July. I'm looking over here at my stack. I've got some Jolly July stuff. I've got some other projects that I've been working on. I've got the giveaway winners from last week to announce. And I do have some knitting as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show my knitting because I haven't shown that in a few episodes. So I'm going to jump right into it. I did want to say that I went to the Midsummer Stitch this past weekend and it was so much fun. I had the best time. I met so many wonderful folks and I had a great time. So if I met you there, thank you for being so kind and for coming and checking out my channel. And I'm just really excited to have met more stitchy friends. And I had a great time and I got lots of progress as well. So it was a fabulous event. Okay, so gonna start out with, I have a finish. And this is one that I was working on last time. This was one of my Jolly July goals to get done this month, and it is my We Santa 2022. So it is completely finished, as you can see, and I love it so much. So I added the beads. I don't know if it's focusing super well, but there are some beads. There is not that much beading, and the beads come with the pattern. So if you're someone who's like a little bit intimidated by beading, do not worry. But it definitely, I feel like, so you could definitely just stitch the beads as cross stitches, it'd be fine. But I do think that the beads just add a little bit more interest, something like a little sparkly, I don't know, a little sparkly something that helps it out. So here it is. It's so cute. And I used the called for DMC, except for I used a couple of the called for fancy flosses. So I used, this one is, I'm gonna lie to you if I try to tell you. So this one right here is Seashelly in the coat. The other pink that's kind of in the coat and in some of the packages is Strawberry Parfait. And then I also use Otter Creek, which is the trees. And I just happen to have Otter Creek on hand, so that's why I used it. There we go. Now we're in focus. But I would say that you could get away with only buying the DMCs and then Seashelly, and you would have a beautiful piece. I mean, you could stitch it in all the DMCs as well, but I do think that this beautiful variegated coat is a really nice feature in the piece. So really pretty. There's a few little beads on his little wreath, and yeah, this is, I love a pink Santa. I love pink Santas. I love pink Christmas. I love anything that's like a non-traditional. I like traditional Christmas colors as well, but I really like a Santa that's like pink or blue or something. So really excited about this one. So happy. I actually purchased, it might be next to me, so I might be able to show it to you. I purchased on Prime Day, because I finished this right before Prime Day. I purchased, it's bubble wrap, but I purchased a just a 4x4 frame, simple white frame to put this in. So I'm hoping I will get it framed soon before the holiday season. So that was my finish and I'm so excited about it. The other thing I had was a new start. So as soon as I finished We Santa, I had to do another Jolly July start, and I was thinking about what I wanted to do. I had a couple options, but then I remembered that I actually already had the fabric for this piece, and I'm going to pop a picture of the finish because it's a digital pattern, but it is Clementine the Fox by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And here she is. She's so cute. She stitches up so quickly. I forgot to tell you. I'm so bad about telling people the fabric. So on We Santa, I use a 32 count XJU Design Grandma's Slip, and I stitched it 2 over 2. So I almost always stitch 2 over 2 unless I tell you otherwise, but this is a 32 count Grandma's Slip. So very sorry about that. Okay, this one, I bought the fabric. So this was I almost said Jolly July exclusive, a Jingle Ball exclusive last year. And I did not attend the Jingle Ball. So I didn't attend the first Jingle Ball, but I did attend the Jingle Ball 2023. And that's where I bought this one and the fabric. So this one's already out. You can buy Clementine, I'm pretty sure, from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And then the fabric is a 28 count Alchemy by Picture This Plus. And I love this fabric. And I have not stitched on 28 count in a while. I usually like smaller counts because I like really good coverage and I like my pieces to be a little bit smaller. But I was working on this and I was like, man, this is really easy to see. And that was nice. So I might be doing some more 28, especially this. So this is, again, it's Alchemy by Picture This Plus. And Picture This Plus is known for being a little bit tighter. So I wouldn't say that this is quite as tight as a true like 32. It's not as tight as 32, but it's definitely a little bit tighter than most 28s. So I think you still get pretty good coverage. Like this is just coverage with DMC, just 2 strands of DMC, and it's quite good coverage. Even like the white looks really good. I'm hoping that I'm having issues with focusing today. Normally my camera likes to focus, but the white has really good coverage. There we are. And I'm impressed by that. So I might be looking into some more Picture This Plus 28 count because it's still quite easy to see, but it's just a little bit tighter than the other 28 counts that I've used before. Yeah, so this is everything called for fabric, which I bought directly from Frosted Pumpkin when I bought it at the Jingle Ball. And then I picked up just all the called for DMCs. What drew me to this was not only the adorable fox, but the colors in this. I loved the colors, so I didn't want to change anything. And I started this maybe like, I want to say I started it like a week ago. Yeah, I think I started it a little bit less than a week ago, and I'm already almost done. And I've not been exclusively stitching on this at all. So it's a really quick stitch. It's really cute. The pattern comes with a little oval template, and since I am using the called for fabric, I could use that oval template to make an ornament. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it an ornament. I might use the oval template and then just stick it on like a flat piece. I'm not really sure, but it's going to be so cute. And this is part of a series. So Clementine has a brother, and then I think her parents as well. I don't know if I'm going to stitch the other ones or if I'm just going to stitch Clementine, but she's so cute. Okay. Love her. This is one of those things that's just like it's just such a fun stitch. And I think I lost my project bag, so that's really good. Okay. So that was my finish and my new start. So I'm going to show you my whips. So I'm going to show you my other Christmas in July whip. And that is living in my stitchy Christmas bag that I made myself last year. And this is the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Winter Christmas Wonderland Mystery Stitch Along that was released last year. I fell abysmally behind immediately and never caught up. So it's fine. So I'm using the kit everything. So the floss is the kit floss. There we go. And I'm using the kit fabric. So there was different options, and I'm using the 32 count even weave. And I have their little needle minder because it was so cute. So the theme kind of for this week has been stitch the good part, because as you'll see on a couple pieces, I just got so tired of trying to slog through parts that I did not want to stitch because I knew that I should. And so the part that I'd been slogging through was this ice rink. So this was the first clue. This ice rink in the middle was the first clue, and is a beast. I don't know. It's terrible. It's terrible to stitch. I feel bad saying that, but it's terrible to stitch. And most people who stitch this agree. So I was trying to like, oh, every time I stitch on this, I'll put like one strand into the ice rink and then work on the village. And what happened was I just didn't want to pick it up because I did not want to put that one strand in the ice rink. I know at some point I'm going to have to stitch that ice rink, and I will, but I am hoping this may not pan out. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret this later, but I am hoping that when I get more of the village stitched, that being closer to being done will help get me some motivation to stitch on this ice rink, because right now the project was just not getting worked on at all because I could not stand stitching on the ice rink. And this is how much I abandoned. I literally have a parked thread. Here's the back of my project. Show you I have a parked thread. It's just like, I'm done stitching this ice rink. I'll park this thread. So, yeah, so I did finish clue 2, which is awesome. And that is right here. So this is clue 2, and it is the little cute village. This was fun to stitch. Each house has a lot of colors, but it was really fun and it's really adorable now that I've got it finished. So that was clue 2. I will probably, I'm not sure. I am going to be doing the stitching the Summer Olympics challenge with the Naptime Stitcher. Like, she's posted it on her Instagram. And I think that this is the only thing I have that fits a couple of the prompts. So this will probably come out. So I'll make a little bit of a start in clue 3, but I probably won't work substantially on this until December of, until we get closer to the holidays. But this is going to be a long-term project. It's fine. It's fine. It's really cute. It is fun to work on in small doses. I'm not abandoning it, but I'm also just not going to try to push myself to work on it if I'm not loving it. So that ice rink is going to have to wait. But I love it. I'm stitching 2/2 as usual, all kit everything. Okay. My next piece, show you my Mill Hill. This is also a little bit of sewing, but I'll just show it as part of it. This is my little miniature, miniature Mill Hill folio. So it's basically like, I want to say, I don't know. I think it's like 9 inches ish this way, and I'm not quite sure how long this way. But this is my little folio that I made. And this was the one I was telling you last time that I kind of messed up. So I made one, which is a giveaway that I'm going to do in a little bit. And then the one that I kept is the one I messed up because I don't know. No, wait, this is the correct one. Okay. This is the good one. I lied to you. This is the one that's for the giveaway. This is not the one that's messed up. This is the giveaway one, which I will give away in a little bit. This is the one that's messed up. I was like looking at it. I was like, I can't find my mistake. So this is the one that's messed up. So in this one, you can see that the seam is more centered and the pocket goes all the way to the middle. The like non-zipper pocket. In mine that I messed up, it's a little wonky. So this one, everything matches up really nice. It's a good deal. This one is slightly wonky. It is what it is. It's my own. I'm going to use it. It's fine. This one's slightly wonky because I switched and I sewed. I should have put this piece here to go with the zipper side, and I didn't. So my pocket is short on this side and my zipper piece is long. It's not a big deal. It's still totally functional. It's fine. So this is how it works, is I have my little thread organizer and everything here, and then my piece is over here. So I've been working on beading. I was actually working on it this morning. And this is the I Love Charmed Ornaments Love Coffee. It's that one. I'm a little shaky because I haven't eaten lunch yet. I got really busy with work this morning. I was trying to take the day off. That didn't happen. And then I ate a late breakfast, and now I'm going to eat a late lunch. And so everything's just thrown off. But I was working on the beading this morning a little bit before work beckoned. And here it is. So you can see I've started to put the beading on. And this has kind of a lot of beads. I was surprised. I've done a couple of these now, and the other one I did not have this many beads. This one, like, a lot of the design is actually beading. So you can see a lot of the words are beading, things like that. So, or the word. But it's really cute, and it's coming along, you know, kind of quickly. And I'm really enjoying it. It's super easy to see. It's super fun to, like, pick up and just work on a little bit. And I really like it. So that is my Mill Hill. I have a few more Mill Hills that I'm planning on starting. And I love my little folio. It's so cute. All right. My next project is one that I am so excited about. This is what I was stitching mostly on during the Midsummer Stitch. So if you saw it there, now you'll see my progress. And y'all, I was so excited. So this is my piece. This is my dragon, which is my, I don't know, it's not entry because it's not a contest, but this is the piece that I'm doing for the Dragon Year of the Dragon Sal, which is hosted by Fibers and Floss Canada and the Huga Stitcher. And I've gotten all except for the eye. The eye needs to be filled in, but all of the, like, main cross stitches are finished. I feel so accomplished. I now have to go in and do a extreme amount of backstitch, but I've been working on it. So you can see there, I've gotten another, like, section of the wing backstitched, and I have more that I'm going to be doing. So the body is all already backstitched. I did that as I went. So I'm just doing the wings, and I love this piece so much. And I was so excited. So this piece is from Author Embroidery Design on Etsy. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. And I will link it below. But it is a very heavily backstitched pattern, obviously. And one of the Flosstubers that I have been following for a while is Anastasia Mang. She is a Russian Flosstuber who lives in Beijing, and she loves this, like, Eastern European style of cross stitch with heavy blends, heavy backstitch. And she actually started the hashtag cross stitch BDSM, which is backstitch doesn't scare me, or blends don't scare me. And also because it's sometimes a little bit torturous to do backstitch and blends. So she happened to be on Midsummer Stitch. And I was in a stitching room with her, and I, like, fangirled, and I showed her I was so excited. I was like, look what I'm working on. It has so much backstitch. And she liked my project, and she liked my cat. She thought my cat was cute. And so, yeah, I was very, like, I was so excited because I met Anastasia, and like, virtually, and she liked my stuff. And so it's always fun when you, like, meet a Flosstuber that you've been, like, following, and I don't know. So anyway, so I will link her channel below in case you haven't seen her before. But if you like this style of stitching, she's amazing. So anyway, I will share her channel, but this is what I've been working on. I usually every few nights I'll pick this up, and this is what I'll work on, like, as my husband and I are watching TV together. And it's really fun. I want to get this backstitch done soon, but I'm also kind of savoring it because I love backstitch. I don't know. I know that's weird. All right. My next one, and again, I'm forgetting my fabric. If I don't say what something is, please leave a comment below, or email me, or message me on Instagram, something like that. Yeah, I'm happy to tell you the information. I'm not trying to hide anything. I just forget. This is stitched on a 32 count Zweigart Winter Moon and it is stitched 2 over 2. I usually stitch 2 over 2 on 36, with the exception of one project I'm about to show you, because I love the coverage, and especially because this one was a lot of DMC 310, which tends to be a little sparse. Because the DMC 310 tends to be a little sparse, I definitely wanted to do 2 over 2 on a 36. So I love it. And this is just called for DMC, and I'm not showing you the threads. My friend Alex, Salexstitches on Instagram, was making fun of me because my threads are sometimes a mess. So I told her that when I show my threads, it's because I have them organized. And so she said that she was going to ask every time on my Flosstubes that I don't show my threads to show my threads. So I'm not showing my threads, but just know that they're a mess. Sometimes they're organized. Okay. My next piece, actually, I'm going to show you my dimensions first. This is my dimensions Wind, Moon, Fairy. So this is the completed cover. So beautiful. And I'm stitching with my friend Caroline from Caroline's Stitch Corner. And we are doing the Dimensions Fairy Sal. So if you are stitching any of the Dimensions Fairies, please use the hashtag Dimensions Fairy Sal and tag myself and Caroline, because we would love to see your Dimensions Fairies. I know we're both having a lot of fun stitching this, and I know there's a couple people that said they were going to be joining us, so I'm excited to see everyone's progress. So this is my progress. I did work on it a bit since I saw you last, and I'm using kit everything. So kit Ada, kit floss, kit everything. So here we are. So I did a lot of this down here, and I'm really, really close. I think the edge is going to be like right there. So my goal is to get to an edge, and that way I don't know. My goal is to get to an edge. I feel like on really big pieces like this, it's helpful to have like a very small goal, even if it's super arbitrary, because I tend to have like choice paralysis. Is that weird? I tend to have choice paralysis when I'm stitching, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what color to grab next. I don't know what direction to go in, when it has so much, you know? And so I just pick a random goal of, I'm going to get to this edge. I'm going to get to this area. So my goal is twofold, actually. I'm going to get to this edge right here. And then I also want to, and I'm getting really close, I want to finish up this part of her sash so that I can backstitch it, because I'm really close. I can backstitch this part. Ooh. I'm really close to being able to backstitch this part. As you can see, I've done some of the backstitching already, because I like to backstitch as I go. So that's where I am. Yes, I love this piece. So pretty. All right, my last whip is one that I have not worked on in a while. And this is the other situation where I felt like, okay, I just need to stitch. I just found a needle in my lab. Probably can't see it. Good times. Okay, I just found a needle in my lab. Flosstuber problems. Okay. I'm just going to stick it on this needle minder on this project and sort it out later. Okay. Good times. All right. So this is a project where I had also just stalled out. I had stalled out because I was working on a part. I was trying to be responsible and work on a part that I knew was going to be a slog to get through. And I got to the point where I just did not want to work on the project anymore, because I was dreading working on the part that I didn't want to work on. And so that piece is, let me drop all my things. That piece is living in my Me Made bag with my charm that was given to me by my friends, Ashlyn and Bree. It says 2024, but. So this is Plum Street Samplers Spring Moon. And this was my New Year, New Start this year. And I'm stitching this with the Vicki Clayton Silk Conversion, which, and I'll show you my threads because they're organized. I have just been keeping my threads in these floss away bags. So I put about 8 per because they're little spools. I keep them in there. And then she gives you a little like conversion chart. So I have that as well. So that's how I store my Vicki Clayton silks. And I'm loving using the silks. My husband bought the pack for me for Christmas. No, for my birthday. My birthday's 3 days after Christmas, so I get mixed up which gifts I got when. So this is my progress. This is Spring Moon. And I am stitching this, before I forget, this is on a 36 count wheat by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm stitching this 1/2, which is unusual for me. But because I have the silk pack, I did not want to risk running out of anything because the pattern was originally designed for 1/2 on 36. So I assumed that when Victoria Clayton did the silk pack, that's how much she gave you. So I don't want to run out. And I don't mind. It's a little prim. It's a little sparse, but I think it works for this piece. So I'm fine with it. So here I am, and I've made quite a bit of progress. I started working on this a couple days ago and have not wanted to put it down. I've not. So this is the part right here. So I started on the basket, and I have also a horrible mistake I made, but I think I can fix it. So I started on the basket, or I started with the flowers, and when I started this back in January, and then I had heard like, okay, do the basket and the house, like the roof of the house early because it's a lot of stitches and you're not going to want to do it. So I quickly moved down into the basket and outlined it, did the texture. Now I'm just filling in. And then I outlined the roof and I started to fill it in. And I was kind of in the same place I was with the Christmas Wonderland, where every time I said, okay, if I'm going to work on this, I'm going to do one strand of roof or one strand of basket. And then I'll work on some flowers, something like that. And I didn't want to pick it up. I did not touch this thing. This got called for WIPGO in June. And I think I worked on it like one time because I don't want to touch it. I didn't want to work on it. I've taken this on trips with me. I took it to a retreat. I've done everything I could to try to like give myself motivation. And I had no motivation because I didn't want to stitch. I didn't want to stitch on that roof or that basket. So I finally said, Jacinta, stitch what you want. Just stitch the part that makes you happy because yes, you're going to have to stitch that eventually, but right now you're getting no progress on it. So some progress is better than no progress. So I started stitching the leaves and the flowers again, and that was making me happy and I was loving it. So cute. And then I noticed that I did not center this at all. I don't know what on earth I was thinking. I'm assuming it was some type of holiday-induced delusions. But the center of this piece is in the roof. And as you can see, I've got a lot of fabric up here. So much fabric up here. And so little fabric down here. I cannot account for my actions. I do not know what I did. I don't know how I managed to get this thing so far off center. So then I had kind of a panic attack. And then I talked to myself and I said, listen, it is what it is. We're not frogging this thing. We're not abandoning it. It's silk. It's so many stitches. So I said, okay. We're just going to stitch down. We're going to stitch down to the bottom of the house and we're going to see. Because if we can get the house in, it'll be fine. So as you can see, it has the house and then it's got this like quite deep bit of grass that's got these flowers. So I stitched down all the way. I started doing the house. I stitched down to the bottom of the house And I don't know for sure if I'm going to be able to fit in the flowers without running out of margin. Now that I'm looking at it on camera again, I think I could. I think I could fit that flower border or the flower grass in there. Worst case scenario, I'll just do a couple rows of just green instead of doing the flowers in the grass. I'll just do a couple rows of green, and it'll be a little bit shorter than it's supposed to be. It'll be fine. It won't be, is this thing supposed to be square? No, it's not even supposed to be square anyway. So actually, if I take off because 145 by 169, so if I take off the, like all that grass, it might actually end up being perfectly square, and then I can put it in a square frame. Might work out. So I don't know. I might be able to fit the grass. So my plan is to just keep stitching everything else. And then at some point when I feel emotionally ready to tackle whether or not I can fit the grass in, I'll just do, like, I think I'm going to stitch all the way out here and then do just like stitch down and see if the grass fits, see how it looks. And then I'll just have one little row. And if it doesn't fit, then I'll just frog it and just forget it. And if it does fit, then cool. So I think I'm going to salvage it. It's going to be fine. I feel incredibly stupid, but it happens. So, yeah, it's going to be fine. But so that's my progress. And I actually have been really enjoying doing the house, like the checkerboard, because the checkerboard, and there's that bee skep next to it. So I've actually really been enjoying doing the house. So that's what I've been working on the most the last few days, is just on the house, and it's been really fun, really nice to pick up. And I actually have been working on that roof because whenever I finish off a row of windows, if I have any of that brown thread left, then I go back and I do like a row or two on the roof. So I've actually been getting a little bit of the roof done, but because I'm not telling myself you have to fill in this roof before you can move on, I've been able to sort of like free myself from that stress, and I really want to work on this project. So stitch the good part. Stitch the good part. It'll be fine. I don't know. Future Jacinta will have to deal with that. But I do think I think there's definitely merit to saving the good part till the end. And I've done that for a lot of projects, and it's worked really well. But for some reason, right now, I was just leaving projects abandoned, pretty much not working on them at all, because I had made myself feel like I needed to stitch this like boring part or whatever before I could move on. And it was actually preventing me from getting progress on the project rather than encouraging me to get progress on the project. So I just need to do what's going to encourage me to get progress on the project, and it'll be fine. So it's a hobby. It's meant to make me happy. Like, I'm not gonna stitch what I don't like. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this. I'm so happy that I decided to just stitch what I wanted and move on. Related to that, this is kind of a tangent. I am not sure that I'm going to enter anything in the fair this year. That's to be determined, but I entered my county fair at like a spur of the moment last year. I literally decided the morning that we take stuff up to the county fair to enter. And I just grabbed some things I'd made that year and took them. And I got ribbons, and it was so much fun. So then I started thinking, okay, well, what can I take next year? What can I take to the state fair? And it's sort of become like this burden, like a chore, like, oh, I need to get this project done, and I need to focus on that because it's more fair worthy, or, I need to, strategically think about what I'm going to take and work on this rather than that, because this piece isn't going to go to the fair. And it's actually made it, and I'm going to talk about that more when I do my knitting, but it's made it like not as fun to work on my projects because I've been stressed about what am I going to take to the fair. So I think if I have something that I want to take, if I have something done by the time state fair entry rolls around, and I also have time because I have to drive it up to Oklahoma City, which is like an hour away from me. I have to drive it up to Oklahoma City and drop it off and all of that stuff. If I'm available and I have something ready to go, maybe I'll take it. County fair, if I'm available and I have something ready to go, maybe I'll take it. But I'm not putting pressure on myself to do the fair, because I think since I placed at my county fair, I now feel like I have this like standard to meet, and that's silly. Like this is supposed to be fun. So anyway, okay. So that's the stitching. Let's do giveaway. Okay, so exciting. What I'm giving away, I already showed you on accident, and I've already picked up the wrong folio. This folio, which is properly sewn and is correct. This is the folio. It's so cute. So what you get is a little folio, and then you also have inside is a zipper pocket. Then you have another pocket, and then you're also going to get, to go along with it, this was my Flossiversary giveaway, the Autumn Harvest To Go Mill Hill. So I went through right before I did this video and did a random comment picker, and the person that it picked is Cozy Cabin Stitching, and I think your name is Allison, so I hope that's correct. Cozy Cabin Stitching said that she is, because I asked what people were looking forward to be working on, and she said that she's looking forward to working on her fall fairy. So that's exciting. I think that's the Dimensions Fall Fairy, and if so, I'm excited to see your progress, Allison. Also, she has a Flosstube, but she's not posted in a while, so I'm gonna link her channel because it's still up. But Allison, maybe consider making a Flosstube if you want to. I know that people get busy and it becomes really difficult, but her past Flosstubes that I've watched are really fun and really great, so hopefully she'll have the time to make another one. But Allison at Cozy Cabin Stitching, you are the winner of this folio and the Mill Hill. So please get in contact with me. Email me, my email's below, or DM me on Instagram. Either way works, and I will get this shipped out to you. Okay, that is all of my stitching. I did want to say a massive thank you to y'all who watched my paper crafting segment last time and gave me such amazing, wonderful feedback. I was really nervous to share my paper crafting because I was like, this is very kind of not usual as to what's on my channel, but I had a lot of great feedback. I don't have stuff today. I have some things I've been working on, but they're in the other room. I didn't want to grab them, but I have started an Instagram just for my paper crafting. So if you want to follow that, it's Hyacinthjournals, and I'll put it down below, but that way I can kind of keep my paper craft a little bit separate from my stitching, because it's different niches. I'll still show it on here from time to time. I've also started an Etsy where I'm going to be selling printables for junk journaling and paper crafting. Do not worry. I'm not going to make this channel all about, promoting my online business, but just in case you're interested, I will probably just from time to time, if I show my paper crafting on here, just mention if it's one of my printables or like whatever, but I'm not going to make this channel about selling paper crafting materials just because it's a Flosstube. It's like it's a sewing like textile crafts channel, but I will still have some paper crafting stuff just from time to time because several of you said that you were really interested in seeing it and enjoyed hearing me talk about how I paper craft with my daughter as well. So yeah, I'm just really excited about it, and it's a new adventure. So yeah, thank you so much. So I'm going to show you just a little bit of knitting. Yeah, I'm just going to show you one thing. So this is a project. The reason I'm showing you this is it's about to go in timeout. And this was a piece that I was fighting so hard to get done for the fair because I felt like I had to enter something because I got the blue ribbon for knitted clothing last time, and I was really proud of myself. And so I felt like, okay, I've got to bring it. I've got to bring an awesome knitted garment. And this one was already this one was in progress. I started this last year, and I'm not going to get it finished. I don't want to rush it. And I started being a little bit not happy with it. So this is my Ms. Arena. It's a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. And this is where it is. Okay. So I have some more tales of woe on this one. So I finished the body. I love it. This is the, it's a fingering weight yarn. The main color is, I don't know what the colorway is because I bought it as like a discount mislabeled skein at a fiber festival, but it is from Apothecary Yarns, who is still selling. So I will link her below. And then the color on top is a limited edition club color from Dragon Horde Yarns. And I will link her below as well. So I made it down here and I stitched the, I knitted down to the bottom, and then I started working on the ribbing. And I've done this before on sweaters. Traditionally, you go down a needle size or two when you do your ribbing because it makes it tighter. On this one, because this is like a cropped length, I was a little bit afraid it would make it too weirdly poofy at the waist. And so I didn't go down a needle size. And I have successfully made sweaters where I have not gone down a needle size and the ribbing looked fine. This time, the ribbing is looking kind of holy and not great. And I kept knitting and I was like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. No. So then I started binding off. I started doing my tubular bind off, and the bind off was just not looking even. It was looking messy. I actually bound off more than this, and I've started like slowly unpicking my bind off. So what I'm going to have to do is finish unpicking my bind off, frog back the ribbing, and then get a needle size a couple sizes down. I think this yarn is like a light fingering, and I think that was my problem. I think if I was knitting it on a tighter gauge to begin with, I could have got away with not going down the needle size on the ribbing, but because I'm knitting this at quite a loose gauge to begin with, it just didn't work. So I'm going to rip back the ribbing. I'm going to just re-knit it. It's not completely in timeout, but if you've been with my channel for a while, you will know that every year for my daughter's birthday, I knit her a sweater or a cardigan and I make her a dress. And my daughter's birthday is in October, and every year, very inconveniently, she grows bigger. And so every year I have to start her stuff a little bit earlier because it takes longer to knit. So usually by like end of July, early August, I need to be starting her her sweater. So I have the yarn for her sweater. It's gonna be a cardigan. She's already picked it all out and everything. She loves to design her own clothes that mommy makes for her. But I am gonna have to start that, and I want to focus on it so I know that it's done before her birthday. So I'm probably going to put that aside. I'm not going to enter anything into the sweaters category at the fair, and I'm going to be fine with that, because this was another thing that, like, because I had decided I was going to enter it, it started to become stressful, because then I was like, oh, I need to like have it be perfect because it's going to be judged, and I need to have it done by a certain day, and all these things, and it made me not want to work on it as much as I think I would have normally, because it became kind of a job. And so I don't want that. So I won't be entering probably anything knitted in the fair. It's fine. And I also think I had a lot of other projects that I wanted to knit this past year, but I felt like I had to put all of my energy into that sweater so I could get it done for the fair. And that makes me kind of sad, because there's a bunch of other things that I wanted to knit that I just didn't work on. So I'm just going to start saying, you know what, if I have something done in time for the fair, great. If not, then you know what, there's always next year. So that's how it is. So anyway, that's my knitting. That's my stuff. I actually don't have any haul. So that's all I've got. So thank you all so much for coming by and checking me out and visiting with me. And I hope you have a great next few weeks and you get lots of crafting time in.